because we literally took our obstacle course and made it our road course instead. And it's powerful.
What's up, Matt? Welcome back.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. And we've got another good video today. One I am so excited about because I'm in the middle of this book and I heard this and I was like, all right, I've got to find a snippet to share with Matt because this stuff is awesome.
Boy, as soon as you sent it to me this morning, which, we send some text messages pretty early sometimes. And as soon as I hit it, I dove right into it. Matter of fact, you distracted me for about an hour with it because I had to finally figure out who this Marcus was. And I had to figure out, okay. And then I thought, oh my goodness, this is the life I'm living right now. We just got done celebrating some victories because we overcame an obstacle. So let's dive into this, baby. This is powerful, powerful stuff.
This idea that 2,000 years ago, the most powerful man in the world, that would be Marcus Aurelius, he's the emperor of Rome, he's sitting down and it can make you better or it can make you worse. That's your call. So I just love this idea that 2,000 years ago, the most powerful man in the world, that would be Marcus Aurelius, he's the emperor of Rome, he's sitting down and he's writing in what would become meditations. He writes this line, he says, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." And I mean, this is a guy who you'd think is not dealing with any obstacles because he can do whatever he wants. He's the head of the most powerful army. He has unlimited wealth. But he's reminding himself that stuff's going to happen. He's going to face obstacles. And really what he's saying is we can use those things as an opportunity to practice virtue, creativity, skills that we wouldn't have intended. But now because of that obstacle, we have the opportunity to do. Okay, stuff's going to happen. Your plane's going to be delayed. The computer's going to eat the document. The deal that you thought you were almost finished completing is going to fall apart at the last minute. These are all going to be problems. These are going to be obstacles. People are going to think you're too young, you're too old, you're not smart enough, you're not experienced enough, you're coming from this industry or that. You're going to have these obstacles. But the question is not how do you make these obstacles not appear, but the question is what do you do with these obstacles? How do you use them as opportunities to do something that you couldn't have otherwise done? How is it going to make you better? If you get better for everything that life throws at you, the harder life is, the better you're going to be. And that's what Marcus Aurelius meant when he said the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way.
Wow, that's powerful stuff. So literally instantly I thought of a job we're doing up in Omaha where we're setting these big 4-inch by 4-inch posts. They have to be sit in a 24-inch hole, 6 foot deep, and they have to be suspended 1 foot off the ground so the concrete goes underneath and all this stuff. The dumbest design ever. And my team up there is just struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling. And literally 2.5 weeks go by and we've done 20 posts, maybe 30. And at this point, I thought we would have at least 50 or 60 posts done. Yeah. So I go to this meeting and this is the obstacle, right? And they're like, Matt, we can't do this. We have to do this. We have to do this. That's just the way it's going to be. And I'm like, oh my goodness. No, we cannot do that. We cannot. We're going to lose money. And in business, you have to be constantly trying to cut the edge, right? You have to constantly, you have to be willing to make those obstacles your road course, right? So instead of it being obstacles, now we have to start maneuvering and we have to make it our road course. And I think that's kind of what they're saying here is when you run into difficulties, you're going to be challenged to make it better. Get this. We literally now we dig 25 posts, we set 25 posts the next day. So we dig it, we concrete them in the next day. So now we're doing 25 posts every 2 days. So 12.5 posts a day. Rinse and repeat. We do that on Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. We do that on Wednesday, Thursday. So now we're hitting our goals, right? Matter of fact, we're exceeding our goals. And had we not had the obstacle, we would have been happy with our goal of 20 posts a week, maybe 30 posts a week. Now we're hitting 40 posts a week. We had 1 week where we hit 58 posts in 1 week. I mean, now we're exceeding our expectation because we literally took our obstacle course and made it our road course instead. And it's powerful. This happens so many times in business. You hit a roadblock. Your banker says no. Your team doesn't agree with you. I've literally had to go to our team and go against almost all of our leaders and say, no, you don't understand. We have to do this. And they're like, Matt, let's just push that off the side. I'm like, no, in order for us to be great, we have to make this happen. And that's what we're going through. We're going through that right now with accountability. Accountability is our road course. And we have, Brad, you saw, we have really good culture. We really do.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Our people are amazing, but we're still struggling. We're struggling with the Saturdays, the overtime, the extra effort to make it go. We took that obstacle and we're going to come out on the other side stronger, tighter, and better because that became the path, right? Of where we're going. Holy cow. When I saw that video, I literally got goosebumps because I thought to myself, this is exactly what I'm going through right now. Now, I also think that once you celebrate those victories and you become the road course and you get to victory lane, feed everybody breakfast, which is what we did.
Yeah, that was
Wasn't
awesome.
that cool?
Yeah, that was so awesome.
So in business 101, the obstacle that's in front of us, we as entrepreneurs have to be patient enough to step back, look at it and say, how do I attack this? Because that's literally the path you need to go down. And it actually, sometimes it's good because it forces you to slow down and really think about how we're going to solve this riddle. Notice, at Empire, we recognized this several years ago. This whole, exactly what he's talking about. We decided that we don't want to call hiccups or problems. We call them riddles because we get the opportunity to solve the riddle. It's more fun to solve a riddle. So I don't like anybody to come to me and say, "Hey, I have a problem." No. You have a riddle, and we're going to solve it together. That's part of our culture. Is let's look at this on the bright side of things, and let's make sure that we're trying to solve this riddle together. If that makes any sense.
It does. I was just in a book this morning, and it was talking about a story where there was this huge dispute. This must have been 50, 60 years ago, over 5,000 acres in South America between two fruit companies. Those 5,000 acres, they both wanted it. One was the biggest, most successful, United Fruit. They were the giant. The other was a little scrappy company. Really had no chance at the whole thing. So when it came time to fight over the land, the big fruit company hired this giant legal team, flew them down there, and they were going to figure it out. Because the problem was there was two people that said they owned this land. So it wasn't just as simple as buying it. They had to figure out who owned it so they knew who to pay for it, right? So they sent this huge legal team because they're going to get to the bottom of who owns this. So this little scrappy guy, he's this immigrant, right? He really doesn't stand a chance against this huge fruit company. What does he do? He goes to both the people who claim to own the land and buys it from both of them. He said, forget all that mess. I'll just buy it. And it was worth it to him. He said, yeah, I had to pay for it twice, but it was a done deal. And it just, when we look at the problem and we can find the opportunity in the problem, that's where that amazing solution. It's like what you guys are doing with that fence. It was this huge problem, but then you found an opportunity to double your production out of it. And that is just, those are the opportunities where we get ahead, right?
Amen, brother. I'm telling you that's powerful stuff. If we can embrace it, though, right? Sometimes, especially, I've learned this with us men, with the men in our group. We've got some really, really alpha females, and they're better at breaking down these problems than us men are. we want to be the Incredible Hulk, oh, and attack
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
When
yeah.
really all you have to do is sit back and put a little finesse to it, put together a plan, and solve it. And I've noticed that Melanie and Sarah and Kelsey and Rachel and Candace and Colleen, all the girls, the ladies in our company, they're way better at that than we are. So shame on us.
Right. We have to learn how to, utilize our strengths, and sometimes that's that perspective that we don't have as men in
Right.
this case, right? I absolutely love that. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed the clip. I hope that everyone watching it enjoyed it as well. I am so interested, if you're watching this, what obstacle are you facing right now? That's an opportunity in disguise. Drop that in the comments below. We'd love to hear about it because I'm very interested, or what in the past has presented itself as this giant roadblock, but turned out to be this blessing once you figured out the riddle, as you
There it
put it,
is.
Matt.
I love it. Good job, Brad.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to these videos. We have more coming. Bye, guys.